to my channel. I know I haven't posted in a while, so I'm definitely going to start getting active on my channel. I'm going to start posting 2 days out of the week. Something that I'm going to do. I'm going to come up with ideas. I'm going to have my friends in the videos. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things, so make sure you keep watching. Hi guys, back in my room now. Today, we're going to do a story time about the time I ran away with my ex. I had this ex for 3 years. We were on and off. And one of the times that we were off, I think I had called him first. And I was like, I miss you. I want to see you. I want to be with you and all this and that. And so we started talking for a week. And then I went up to see him. It was like an 1.5-hour drive. I was there for a couple hours. While I was there, he asked me to be his girlfriend. So then we started dating again. A week later, I wanted to convince him to run away with me. So that's what I did. I was on the phone with him, convincing him to run away. And he was so hesitant at first. He didn't want to do it. He was like scared of getting in trouble. I was like, it'll be fine. Like, no one will know you're here. No one even knows where I'm at. Like, I lived in the country at the time, so they wouldn't think to look there. It took me like an hour to convince him. And then after I convinced him, he was packing his stuff. I ordered an Uber. The Uber was $100. I'm gonna see if I can try to go back and find that charge on my bank account. But yeah, that Uber was $100. I paid $100 for an Uber just for him to come down. And so after that, he got in the Uber. He was on his way down here, and I think he got to my house around 10:30 or something like that. So it was late. My grandpa was still up, but he was downstairs, so I wasn't too much worried about that. I told the Uber driver not to park in the driveway or pull in the driveway. I told him to like park on the side of the street. So that's what he did. When he got out of the car, I was like flashing my flashlight on my phone, and I had a little sign that was like, come to the other window. So he came to the other window, and that was my room. And he hopped in the window. After that, I think 30 minutes later, my grandpa went to sleep. And we were up like all night talking, cuddling, and all that. So the next morning, my grandpa wakes up. I tell him like, get behind the bed in case like my grandpa does anything. So I don't think my grandpa came in my room, but he was like walking around the house and everything. And I think he left 2 hours later. So we were just chilling around my house, watching movies and just enjoying each other. This went on for about 4 weeks, almost 5 weeks, where my grandpa did not know he was staying there. And yeah, everybody was looking for him, but they didn't know where he was, and they didn't know where I was. So no one could send the cops to my house or pull up my name or anything like that, because I was like, I wasn't off the grid, but I was kind of off the grid. So, which is crazy, is like, we weren't in the house the whole time, because like we would have gotten caught like that. So times where my grandpa was gonna spend like all day in the house, I would sneak him out of my window. We would sneak around to my car, get in my car, and just go hang out with my best friend, or just go out places and do things. But most of the time, we hung around at my best friend's house. And we would all just chill in the car, talking, and just vibing with each other. Until the day that we got caught. The day that we got caught, I think it wasn't early in the morning, but we were already planning to run away, because obviously we couldn't stay at my grandpa's house any longer. So we were gonna run up to his stepmom's mom's house, and literally, like, I was gonna pack all of my shit and leave what I didn't want to take and all that when he left. And he was supposed to leave 30 minutes before he caught us. So as he was leaving, he came into my room, and I don't know what he was doing, but he was like, I have this Afghan and it had lint on it. So he was taking a lint brush and getting it off. And I was like, I can do that. Because he was behind my bed and I didn't want him going behind my bed. So he started like inching closer. And then he got behind my bed and my heart dropped. My heart just dropped. And he was like, Chandra, who is this? And I'm lying and I'm like, oh, it's my friend's cousin. Like, he just needed a place to stay, he didn't have anywhere to go. Like, I'm lying my ass off. So my grandpa's giving me a lecture, obviously, and so he was like, he told me to go do something, so I went to do it. I saw his phone on the table and I knew he was going to start calling people, so to give me a little time, I took his phone and I hid it outside on the porch under like a little couch cushion and everything. And so when he was like, pack your stuff, like, you have to get out. Not me, my ex. And so he was packing, or I was packing his stuff while he was talking to him, but I was also packing my stuff. And he was like, is all this stuff his? And I was like, yeah, all this stuff is his. So he's like, all right, take it outside on the porch. So that's what I did. His stuff and my stuff, I took it outside on the porch. My grandpa's in the house looking for his phone, trying to call people, and he's like, I can't find my phone, do you know where it is? And I'm like, I think it's in the bedroom. So when he goes in the bedroom, I tell my ex, run outside, put the bags in the car, let's go. So we put the bags in the car, we start the car really fast, we zoom out of there. We literally, like, I'm on a quarter of a tank of gas, and the place that we were going was 3 hours away, and I'm broke at this time, and I can't call anybody because I'm running away. So what do you call it, I go to my friend's house, but she wasn't my friend at the time because we kind of fell out, and this was over the summer period time. So we fell out right before summer and everything, so I hadn't said one word to her, she hadn't said one word to me, and I didn't want to because I was in the wrong for the reason that we weren't friends anymore. So I was just sitting in her driveway because my grandpa never would have thought to look there because he didn't know where she lived, and it was only a couple minutes down the road from my house. So I was sitting in her driveway, and all of it, like, I think we were sitting there for 10 minutes. My cousin blew my phone up, my uncle blew my phone up, my grandpa blew my phone up. I was ignoring everybody. And then my cousin was still calling me and texting me, so I answered the phone, and I'm like, what do you want? And she's like, where are you? Like, you can't be doing this, you have your grandpa worried and all this. And I was like, I'm fine. I can't remember exactly what I said, but we were having a conversation. As we were having a conversation, my friend's mom and my friend started pulling out of their driveway. So I'm literally like getting out of they bag up, I pull up to her house, and I get out of the car and I start crying, and she's like, oh my god, are you okay? And I'm like sobbing, and then I tell her what's going on, and she was like, okay, well, here's what we'll do. Like, her mom put like $30 in my tank to get me up there, and after that, I think, yeah, we went to the gas station. She got us food and drinks and everything. She told us, let us know when we get there safe and everything. And I was like, okay, like, thank you so much. And so after we got the gas and they did all that, we went our separate ways, and I immediately got on the highway. Because where I used to live, like, you could take the back roads to places, but the main transportation was a highway. So I got on the highway and I went I started heading up to like Emporia because it was on the board. It wasn't North Carolina, but it was on the border of North Carolina, and it was a distance to where I was going. Like, I already lived on the border of North Carolina, but I was just going down Virginia, like a little bit. I don't know how to explain it without explaining it, but we basically went closer to the border, I guess, but it was 3 hours away. And we went to Western Virginia, if that makes sense. Like, I lived in the middle of the Virginia, on the middle bottom of Virginia, and we went to Western Virginia. Yeah. So, I think I'm driving for like an hour, and all of like the whole time I have a pounding headache. So I pull over like an hour into the drive, and I'm just sitting there trying to get this headache to go away. It's not going away. I took 2 Tylenols, I think, and it's still not going away. So I'm like, we have to get there. Like, we just have to get there. So I drive for another hour, and then I pull over again, and I'm like, I can't do this. My head is killing me. Like, it's getting worse every single second. So I go to him, and I'm like, I need you to drive. And mind you, he didn't have a license or a permit or anything like that. Like, he knew how to drive, but he just didn't have the shit. So he's like, I don't think you want me to drive. Like, I really don't think you want me to drive. And I was like, I can't. I need you to. If you want to get there, I need you to drive. So he's like, okay. He hops in the driver's seat. I hop in the passenger seat. And I'm, like, laying down, telling him, like, where to go and everything. We get to Walmart, because that's where we were meeting them. Because I was going to give my car back to my grandpa, because it wasn't my car. It was in his name. And it was just a whole hassle. And I don't want to have a Grand Theft Auto charge on me. So I called my grandpa, told him where the car was at, told him to come get it. And told him I was in a whole nother place, like all the way in North Carolina. I think I told him I was in Raleigh or something. And so we get back to his stepmom's mom's house. And 30 minutes later, his stepmom pulls up. My ex has a difficult relationship with his stepmom. Like, he has a difficult relationship with all of his family. So it was like, I was pretending to be asleep because I don't want to get into that shit. He was pretending to be asleep. He didn't want to get in that shit. She got on immediately. And so we were sitting there talking, and she took us back to her house. And we spent the night in her bed. Her only condition was, like, we couldn't, you know what, in her bed. So we're like, okay. Like, we weren't going to do that anyway. I was like, I had a pounding headache. I was just tired. I wanted to go to sleep. It was a long day. So we went to sleep. And the next morning we woke up. We drove around for a couple of hours. And we went to this little, like, river. And it had a bridge. And we took some photos on the bridge. I'm pretty sure I still have those. So I will probably put those in here. And after that, we went to go get something to eat. And at this point, everybody was blowing my phone up, asking where I was, because at this time, I'm a missing person. So they posted I was a missing person on my sheriff's, like, county sheriff's page. So it was not a good photo. It was not a good photo at all. And I went to, my friends were blowing my phone up, and I had kept one person in the loop because she was my best friend. I didn't want her to get worried. Like, she knew everything that was going on from the time that I went to go see him all the way up until the time, like, I ran away. I think I was in the car, and I was like, hey, so you know that plan we talked about? Yeah, it's happening. We're doing it. We're running away. And she was like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna miss you and all this and that. And I was like, I'm gonna miss you too. Like, I think when the heat dies down, I'm gonna come back and see you and all this and that. And so we call it. Everybody is blowing my phone up. She is sending me a bunch of texts of people blowing her phone up. I think like people I didn't even fuck with at the time were blowing my phone up, asking if I was okay. Like people that I was acquainted with in school were blowing my phone up because everybody had me on Snapchat, Instagram, and my number. So I was everybody was like, I don't know, worried or not.
Hello. Hey.
Sorry, my friend came in, but I'm back. So like I said, everybody was blowing my phone up. And I think I responded to a few people, like the people that I was acquainted with and all that. I was like, I'm fine, I'm okay, and all this. So, the part I didn't mention, my mom called me on the drive up there, and she was like, hey, what's going on? So, I thought my grandpa, my cousin, like, I thought someone called her and told her and filled her in. So I was like, look, I'm okay. I just needed time away. Like, I just needed to go away. So I'll bring the car back when I have a chance, or I'll send someone to come and get it, and all this and that on the phone with my mom. And she's like, what? What's happening? So my face literally goes like, and I'm like, shit. I hang up immediately. My mom starts blowing my phone up. Everybody is still blowing my phone up. I changed my number completely because I don't need them tracking me and finding out where I am. So I changed my number. So somehow my mom gets my new number, like, I think the next day and all that. So she's still blowing my phone up. But yeah, I'm texting all the people back that I actually talked to and all that. Like, I'm okay, I'm fine. And my best friend's sister, I knew her, my best friend's sister's mom, since I was a kid because I used to live down there. So it was kind of like crazy because she was like really worried about me. As soon as like that missing thing went up, she was worried about me. So I called her and I let her know I was safe, I was okay, like I'm not in any danger, I just needed time away, like, and everything. So she's like, okay, great. So after that, we my ex went to get a tattoo because he wanted a tattoo, and the tattoo was of my nickname. So yeah, he got that, and I was like there the whole time. I was holding his hand, telling him like he was gonna be okay. So after that, we had like set up a little tent in case the police came looking for us in the woods. So we went back to the tent and we just laid there and cuddled for the night and went to sleep. The next morning, his stepmom's like, okay, like, we've been here for a couple days. I don't want y'all getting in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble because she was already on probation, so she could have gotten in trouble for harboring runaways. So we went up to his stepmom's dad's house. It was like 30 minutes away up in the mountains, and the ride up there was so beautiful. Like the mountains and the hills, like I swear I could have just stayed there forever. So when we got up there, his stepmom dropped us off. They said goodbye because she couldn't have contact with her son at the time. So we went in the house and we waited for his brother to get out of school because he was in, it was either elementary or middle school, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was elementary school because that was his younger brother. And after that, we went to walk around and we went down to the river and we swam in the river for a bit and just enjoyed being out of the house and being with each other, spending time with each other, the scenery. And I love nature, total big fan of nature. So anything having to do with nature, I'm outside, I'm there. After that, we We went back to the house, we changed our clothes, we ate, and then we went to sleep. The next morning, I think I had called my mom, and I was like, or no, someone else was calling me, like one of the people that were blowing up my phones, and I was like, hey, I'm okay, like, please stop blowing up my phone. And she's like, we're really worried about you, like, can I come and get you, like, you can stay at my house. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, oh, I just need my stuff at my grandpa's house. So we were on the phone with my mom, and we were like planning everything out. I gave her the address. 15 minutes later, the cops pulled up, and I think the like way we knew it was the cops, because we didn't go outside, we didn't answer their door, any of that. This guy had got up, and he was my ex's cousin, and he was like, the cops are here. So we're like, what? And I'm freaking out. So I think we didn't even try to run away at that time, because I'm pretty sure there was a cop at the back door and there was a cop at the front door. So we just honestly sat there, and they were like, you have to come with us. So since we were juveniles, we couldn't ride in the same car, so we were split up. I had like 2 vapes and a pen. The pen was out, so I didn't really care if they took that, but they took the 2 vapes, and I was just like, damn. Because they were just new vapes. And so I was like, okay, great. They took us back to like that county police station and all that. And I was sobbing my eyes out the whole time, because I wasn't worried about myself, really. I was just worried about him, because he wasn't really in a situation where he could run away without getting in trouble. So I was just scared, like, what was going to happen to him and everything. He ended up being fine. They took him to a little, like, foster family, and they were like, he could come back to where he was, or at least in the county that he was, so we could at least be like an hour distance instead of 3 hours away, or he could stay up there with the foster family and all that. So I was like crying, because I didn't want him to stay up there. Like, we just spent all that time together, like 4 weeks. I didn't want to be away from him. He didn't want to be away from me. So it was like, I don't know, we were just both like very upset at the situation. So I think we had sat at the police station for like 2-3 hours, and then I was just cuddling with him, like sitting in his lap the whole time and crying, and they were trying to get me to eat. The police officers were trying to get me to eat. He was trying to get me to eat, and I was like, I'm not hungry, I don't want any food. I don't want anything. And so I didn't eat anything. And then they went to, I don't know what they did. I don't know. It was like 3 hours. So 3 hours passed. The people that were there to get him, they finally got him. An hour later, the cops from my hometown showed up, and they got me. And it was like I said, it was a 3-hour drive up there, but it was a 4-hour drive back, because I was in a different place to where I ran up from. So I think I was in the car, and I was on the phone with him, and I was crying on the phone with him, and the cops tried to get me to get the food. I wasn't going for that. I was just wanted to be with my ex. So after we went to like I said, I wasn't really eating. So they just took me back to where I ran away from. Excuse me. Then instead of taking me straight back to my house, my uncle was a sheriff, and he wanted to talk to me. So I went to talk to him and we talked for like 15 minutes. And I think I went back to my house. My uncle was there, my grandpa was there, and my uncle gave me a long lecture. My grandpa gave me a long lecture. And I just wanted to shower and go to sleep. So that's what I did. I showered and I went to sleep. The next morning, I wake up and I hear my grandpa on the phone with somebody. And it was like people from, it was like, I think a 14-day program where it's like a therapy program where they help rehabilitate you and get you back. It was like for crisis teens, I guess. So I didn't want to go at first, and then I just went and got it over with. It was a nightmare. I couldn't have my phone. Someone had to watch me. It was basically like a residential, but it was just for 2 weeks. But I couldn't do it. Didn't like it. Literally, as soon as I got out, I think that just basically made me regain my grandpa's trust a little bit. Like, obviously, he didn't have full trust in me, but I was able to go out, hang out with my friends, drive my car, and all this and that. And my friends really missed me. I missed my friends. So I think, yeah, after that, I went to hang out with my friends, and my life kind of went back to normal. But I have much crazy story times than this one, so if you want another story time, let me know. But stay tuned because I'm definitely posting another video this week, and it's going to be an interesting one. Bye guys, thanks for watching.